Hello, my name is Rosalie Goodhead, and today I would like to talk to you about CPD. CPD is just simply ongoing professional development. It's very important in the health and social care industry to keep yourself up to date with current knowledge, skills, improving your skills, because this industry is fast growing and changing industry. Legislations can change tomorrow. Practice, the things that we do can also change. So it's crucial that you keep yourself educated. Some common professional development skills are communication skills. When you're at work, how you communicate with your colleagues, how you talk to each other, how you respond to your colleagues' comment, teamwork, working together, solving conflict if there is any, adapting yourself to the environment, being professional at all times, putting the service users' needs first before your own. And it's very important as a support worker or a carer or anybody working in the health and social care industry that you reflect on your actions. When I say reflect on your actions, I mean the things that you might do, whether good or bad. It's important to reflect. So, for example, if you made a mistake at work, it's important to take accountability for your mistake, own up to it. If possible, report yourself. And if this is a mistake because you was not aware or you need more training, this is also another opportunity in CPD for progression, because if you don't know, unless you further educate yourself, you would never know. Also, reflection. You can reflect in different ways. For example, you can reflect after the incident has occurred. So, for instance, you're at work and something happened that day and you've come home and you're thinking back, oh, okay, this happened. I didn't react very well, or I reacted very well. I should have handled it this way, or I handled it well. Whatever the situation, is important to always think about what you've done. Another form of reflection is to think about the action whilst it's going on. So let's say you're at work and something is going on presently. It's important for you to think, so this thing that I'm doing, I'm going to possibly end up with this result. Why don't I change it and do this to get a more positive response or result? And also there's reflection for the action. So before you actually engage in a task or an activity, you think about what you're coming to do. So what I'm about to do, is it necessary? Can I do it in a safe way? Plan how to go about it in a safe way. Communicate with whoever it is, the service user, your colleagues. It's very important to communicate with others around you to make your work easier and to make it safer, to be honest. In this presentation, I have given a few scenarios of incidents that have happened at work. One was with a service user, who was left alone for a long period of time. Nobody checked on him. They didn't even check to see if he'd eaten, drank water. They just left him in his room unattended to. And as a result of that, he had no medication. His medication was missed. He hadn't eaten, he hadn't drunk anything. So naturally, he got anxious, he was upset, he was agitated, and things like this can lead to serious problems, not for just the support worker, but also for the service user, because remember, these people are ill. You're there for a reason, because they are not able to do for themselves, which is why you are there. So you have to be attentive to their needs always. In this presentation, I've also done a SWOT analysis of my personal attributes. So what I feel I'm good at, what I feel I can improve on, and what I'm not good at, what I definitely need improvement on. So my good attributes, I would say, is I'm compassionate. I have empathy for my clients or service users. I know how to communicate effectively. I can have good communication. I'm patient. Like, I have realistic conversations with them. I'm very organized, and I have good timekeeping skills. So if I know I need to be at work at 10, I make sure I give myself enough time so I don't make myself late. Some of my attributes that I would say on somewhat negative is I'm quite anxious sometimes, especially when I'm having a bad day or things are falling apart. I tend to be anxious. I can be very emotional. So, for example, if a service user passes away or a service user is crying, yes, I will try and comfort them and encourage them, cheer them up, but sometimes I get emotional. I might start crying myself. Then I'll realize and then put myself back together. Um, um, some of the opportunities that I feel I can get from CPD, like continuous professional development, the obvious one is financial gain. The more you educate yourself, the better paying jobs you will get. That's the main one. Also, you're empowering yourself. Is very empowering to know things, to know the right way to do things. Like, for example, if you're having a conversation with your peers, it's important not to look ignorant or stupid. So when you educate yourself, you keep up with everybody else, because in life, everybody's aim is to progress, improve. And also, in my presentation, I've talked about some of the threats that you can get in your in your personal attributes, like being support workers. Some of our service users are potentially violent, not through any fault of their own, especially me working in disability. Emotionally, it can be draining as well. Physically, some of them might want to attack you or harm you when they're upset. And this leads me to my next topic of employability, being able to be employable. If you went for a job interview today, what skills are you taking to that new job? What how do I say it? What knowledge are you going to also, because it's not just about learning new things. The things that you have learned, you have to also now share with maybe some of your colleagues, or just going around in their environment, you know, or even with the service user. Because, for example, like if you go to a service user and you notice that they've been eating a particularly unhealthy way, it's you have a care of duty as their support worker to try and encourage them to be more healthy for their own good, not by forcing or trying to tell them what to do, but by through conversation, communication again, you could tell them about healthier options. When you go shopping, you could encourage them to try healthier things, little things like that. Also, employability sometimes is just about just basic soft skills, stuff that as adults we should know, like skills that you can transfer from one job to another. For example, communication, like I said, being able to organize yourself, timekeeping, some of the stuff that I already mentioned. So it's very important in CPD. Firstly, knowledge is key. You must keep up to date with the knowledge, learn current things. If you don't know, you ask. So in a working environment, if you're working and you feel like, okay, I'm not good in this area, I need more training, go and talk to your supervisor, talk to the manager, the team leader, whoever's in charge of progress, supervision, or training. And most likely they'll be very impressed that you're seeking to be trained further. Thank you for listening to my presentation.